Good morning there, guys. Day after Christmas. Just getting some stuff done out in the shop. Sorry about not posting a video early this week. I'm just kind of taking time around Christmas, enjoy time with family and doing stuff around here. And it's not really needing much taping. It's been just a lot of, I don't know, just kind of catching up, catching up on other random things that aren't always fully car related. So, anyway, we've been working on the back room here a little bit, and Ned's working on engine carts right now. Over here we get some block off plates for cylinder heads, basically, so you can keep the varmints and the other animals outside the engines. It's pretty simple to make, just some OSB, and then taking your gaskets, passing them over the top like this, just kind of doing a quick trace on them, and then blowing your holes in them, so not too bad. We're not using a jigsaw to make them, which is a pretty easy way to do it. As you can see right here. So obviously not bad to make, honestly. They're a pretty simple setup. Without buying metal ones, obviously, which is the other brands have as an option. But along with that, we got the back room pretty much fully wrapped up. So got all the shelving in the back area. So basically we got enough room to put engines on carts underneath the shelving over here. And then we got shelves that are certain heights for certain things. That's why nothing is exactly the same height. We got our cylinder head section over here. And more, I don't know, just another spot for like these green totes. All the way back that way. All plywood top on. The top ones are got some OSB just because it's not ones we're accessing as much. And then we got those three in the back. Those all fit motors. We got our nice bench over here. Another shelf up top right here. 2x4 with a whole lots of weight. Our big bench for kind of laying out parts or whatever. Something was not. See if we got a motor we're working on. We're waiting on parts. So you can lay it out back here, and let the main bench, the main island, actually not be full of the motor or full of shit like that. So, also got some more shelving up here for oil and air filters and general stuff. Just the same way. We have a lot of oil on hand. I worked for an oil company for a while. When I first started, my first engineering job out of school was at an oil company. So I ended up getting a lot of oil that was, from there and everything back and forth. So we'll have some of these shelves for daily driver parts, like you get your brake rotors and your calipers and your belts and hoses and all that kind of stuff. Then we'll also have a nice dry place to put race parts we have too, that are in the house garage or whatever, just so they're in one central location. Then along with all that, I got the new ductwork done. So this is our original fans used to be. So I got all the ductwork set up on the roof. So the fans are open over here with the window outside the wall. So we have our suction fan back in the shop now. So kind of a lot going on here. We did a lot of work in here, and it may seem like it's literally the point, but it's basically making it organized exactly for what we're trying to do with it. So since we got the room done, we're gonna take some of these motors on stands, put them on carts, and then go in this room over here. That way we can actually work along this wall in this room. Right now, basically it's a rule of 401s, but basically gonna put them on small carts, much similar to the one underneath the 71-360 we have here. Where basically they are 2x4 engines held up by the oil pan in the front, and we put a ring gear on them and sits in the ring gear in the back. So pretty simple setup, make them easy to roll around the shop and put in places easily. And the carts aren't too bad to make. Basically make them out of 2x4s just like this, as you guys saw. Cut to certain lengths. What are the lengths on these things, Dad?
17 inches and 24 inches for a V8, and 17 and 31 for a 6-cylinder.
Okay. Yeah, so these are mostly, this would be like the V8 ones right now. These are all V8 ones right now by the looks of things. So, but then we also use steel wheels like you guys saw. So usually we under the 71-360 in the back room. So usually we'll put these on. And these do a really good job of not folding after long periods of time. It seems like we tried using the rubber ones on some 6-cylinders and transmission carts and that kind of stuff, just figured it'd be fine, but over time they seem to break down, and you're rolling the engine around, tire folds underneath, falls apart, and you can't roll it anyway. It's just annoying. So definitely the metal ones, best way to go. And these are like we can get at Home Depot. We get them at Menards, but depends where you're at in the country. So they come pretty easily from most of your Home Depots, Lowe's, Menards, that kind of stuff. So anyway, we're gonna make some carts here quick, and then we'll move some motors around. So we're gonna get some more of the rest of the stuff that's kind of scattered around the garage. It's just general maintenance parts for our daily cars. Once we get all that done, then we'll start moving on the other parts I'll put on the shelves over here. some time-lapse stuff for a little bit. It was kind of hard with just stopping and starting, organizing, and figuring out where stuff actually had to go. But anyway, here's our progress for today. As you can see, we got the bench. It's actually almost empty in here. And then we got the bottom bench pretty much empty besides the cam bearing tool right there and the block plate, the boarding plate. Got that shelf organized a little bit better. Now we got the tranny kits that are on the bench up on that shelf over there. These motors are in a little better spot to come out of this section here and be put on carts. And then here is a lot more organized. So there is got some carts made like I was talking about earlier today. So set up for taking motors off engine stands, putting them in here like this. Got a couple other things, and this shelf's pretty much all wrapped up now. We also got some race parts over here. So we got, and this is all the oil we put up there before, like I talked about. Then we got all our air filters up here, so the large supply of those. Along with, got some line of heads down here. We got some intakes. We got some other stuff, some ignition parts up there. Carburetors, and then we got balancers and flywheels and stuff like that. And all of our driver stuff. So this is how much stuff we usually have on hand for drivers, just because we drive them every day and we have a drive 3 to 4 AMCs as daily drivers. So we got ball joints and master cylinders, hoses, alternators, all kind of brake parts you possibly could need, all the mounts, all that kind of thing. So lots of shocks as well. So a lot of stuff put up in here, kind of like a parts store be for shelving, so you can come in here, kind of see what you have, what you don't, see what we have to order or what we don't have to order. So that's kind of the whole point anyway. Oh, then we also have a crap load of valve springs. One of the machine shops around were retiring, so you had 1,000 AMC valve springs, basically 72 to 78 ones. So, and that holds about 5,000 RPM pretty consistently. So we did it for a lot of years before we actually changed the valve springs. So, but yeah, crap load of original valve springs for V8s. But it's kind of a wrap for today. I'm gonna go inside, call it, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. I'm back at it again here on Friday, getting ready to move some motors around. So I got the line of 401s over here. This one has actually got no rods or pistons in it currently. They're on the bench out there, along with the other 401 right there. There's another one around the back side of the bench too, and the block on the bench here itself actually too. So a couple more out there actually. The block and heads that's Dave's motor for the black Javelin you guys saw in the videos, a couple videos back, because we're building a 401 to go in that car. The drive's ready to go with that thing, so he's ready to bang gears and have a good time. So, but anyway, those couple motors, that other 401 there's gonna go back underneath the bench. That one's gonna go on a cart to go outside, out in the back room. That is actually a 360, the original motor that came out of my truck. So I'm gonna put that on a cart, get that out of here. That's just a high mileage motor for right now. And a couple other 401s that can hang out right here for right now, because they're actually nicer motors. That's the other 401 I used to have in my truck for a while. In my truck for a while, I decided to take the one, change the motor combination in my J10, and put the 401 that used to be in my black AMX with the flames. Which that car ran about 13 O's with that motor in it. Which that motor was still an 8-to-1 401, but it had a mild Elgin cam in it, and stock pistons, stock rods, all that kind of stuff. A 750 vacuum on top and a torquer, so nothing ridiculous. But current motor I have in there runs about 1230s, so it's a little bit rowdier than that original one, but makes my original motor makes my truck move pretty dang good, I'll say that. So definitely a little different feeling going 110 in the J10 down the road. Definitely a different experience, I'll put it that way. But it's kind of fun. But anyway, I'll get some of these put on stands. We got some chains in the ropes right here. We'll put our chain hoist on. We'll pull them off the engine actual stands themselves, put them on carts. We can roll them into the new room, and then also send them outside through the little elf door. If you guys remember, we put in the wall over here. That little door there behind Pipsqueak, or the 4-foot ladder. So we'll pop these two boards off, and this whole section of wall comes out, and we have a whole bench, and the rest are lean-to outside, where some motors that aren't so desirable can go, which is also where this 6-banger is going to go as well, which used to be on the bench for a while. So this is just an old Eagle motor we had laying around. I think this is the original motor actually out of this car, I remember right, pretty sure, because the motor in this car is the one on my blue car, and the motor in my blue is actually out of 1980 Eagle we had here. We used this kind of a yard mule for a while, pushing stuff around. A big push bumper on the front, we can push cars in and out of lean-tos and that kind of thing. So, but well, there's the scheme anyway. So we'll get to it. Well, first things first, we got this 360 right here ready to go for my truck. So I'm gonna get some plates on this, get this moved around a little bit, and then we'll block off all the external ports so we got no quitters getting ideas. And we'll get it put on a little cart, we'll get it outside. So we'll get to it. That's on the time lapse. I got the block off plates on. It also had different bolts across the head. Well, actually in 79 they changed the bolt sizes, so got the most amount of light over it. Actually, shows the camera pretty well. So the end holes on 79 and later heads are 5/16 bolts, and the middles are 3/8. Much like if you remember the 291C heads, the 502s and 090s and 993s are all 3/8 across the board. So that's kind of a later head operation that way. On the early heads, all those 3 castings. And I believe the square ports are all 3/8 as well, if I remember right, but don't quote me on that. I don't really have any motors that are older than 1970, just because, I don't know, I like the dog leg motors a lot more, put it that way. So, but anyway, I'll get the plates put on the rest of the way, we'll get the rest of the stuff taped up, and we'll keep on moving. Usually what we'll do for blocking off carburetor holes and that kind of stuff is cut a chunk of wood with 4 holes, pretty simple setup. We'll do that on 4 barrels and 2 barrel stuff. So you can block them off easily, and it seats pretty dang flat on everything. Eliminate mice from getting some bright ideas of getting cozy in your intake. Alright, as you guys saw in the time lapse, got all the plugs put in there. You see the ones that go in the runners. There's some random 80s crap we had laying around for the side of our intake pieces, you know, the vacuum stuff. Got our vacuum operator 4-wheel drive port, manifold signal port plugged off. Port back here for the water jackets plugged off. EGR plugged off. Obviously that's done. Water jackets aren't too big of a deal, so I'm just gonna leave those. Yes, the GoPro's been ready to be turned off. But now we're gonna blow the engine stand off there, put a random flywheel on, because we're just putting on the cart. We'll bolt that back on there. We're ready to get this one out of here and then start the next one. So. The 6-banger and the 360 ready to go outside. Probably won't do it today. We may, and we'll see how that all goes. It's already dark out there, but we do have a lot of lights, so we'll probably put them out there. But anyway, on to the next motor. So I'll take this motor, put that on a stand too, and that can go. That's just going to go onto the benches in that room over there. Oh, and also that 6-banger block we had laying around that actually has a history to it. That's going to go out there. And probably these cranks we got right there too, which are also part of that motor, which are not actually stock. Neither is that block. There's some stuff going on with both of those. They were actually part of a racing program with 6-bangers around here for a while. I got some goofy machine work going on. Goofy in a good way. But anyway, so we're gonna get this undone there. That most motor in the back right here, we're probably gonna put on a cart as well, this 401. And then the motor you guys may have saw in the earlier picture, which is the front of the room, that one will probably stay on the stand, because we're probably going to get that ready to go as a core to sell, just because we don't need all these 4 ones. So. Time to use the elf door. what, that works pretty dang well. Just like that, door sealed back up. Back to being hot in here. I spent a little time getting other stuff done today. So didn't do as much in the shop in the early part of the day. Helped some firewood for my grandpa and that kind of stuff. But did spend the last couple hours actually building a cart for my tube bender. So this is our Pro Tools 105. So I had a bunch of dies for it and stuff. I haven't used it too much. I bought it probably like a couple of years ago, something like that, to build roll cages and that kind of stuff and other suspension pieces. So we got a full cart now with all of our dies on it. I have 4 dies right now, a little bigger stuff, and then also a tube notcher, and it's a air-hover hydraulic, so I got all the dies in there, room for more dies, and I also got our blocker plates. This pin is set to stack the rest of the blocker plates after we're done with them. Kind of die clamps over there and that kind of stuff, so be a pretty good setup to use once we get to that spot, kind of starting some other shenanigans, build roll cages, that kind of stuff. We're ready to go, so. But anyway, so we got that all done. Now we're gonna spend a little more time doing some organization in the shop here too. So back at it again here on Monday. Did a little more organization last night in the back room. Got all the motors out of the way and stuff. So that's a couple we want right here. Got that for Christmas. We don't have exactly a home for it yet. But we got those 2 4-1s back there. Another 4-1 we got to take apart to kind of see what's actually there. We're getting rid of the old pipe benders, taking some nice photos and stuff, as well as the hitch over here I bought for the gooseneck that we don't need anymore as well. We decided to keep our offset one. It's kind of some general cleaning, getting stuff moved out of here. So got the R360 put down here, a nice spot, and then the shelves organized behind me, a little bit cleaner than they used to be. In the room over here, obviously you guys saw the tube bender yesterday. Got the another 401 put down there, motor and training combination, a couple more things in the shelves. And so I'm going to go through that cart today. I got that cart all figured out, which was the tube bender you just saw off of. So that's all for exhaust now, basically all organized for just exhaust tools and exhaust parts, basically small little pieces we can use to seam them together, exhaust systems, that kind of thing. So, and also the organization kind of got contagious. So we did a little work on this shelf behind my dad over here on the wall over here. It's kind of tipping down, as you can kind of see. So we got a bunch of brake shoes out here. We got shock parts over there. We got belly pan gaskets, some other stuff for the plow, carburetor kits basically, and then also a crap ton of U-joints and more front suspension parts. So we're gonna keep going through this shelf right here, get rid of the rest of the stuff off of it, and some more actual springs and spark plugs and thermostats and all sorts of lights, that kind of stuff. So we'll get this shelf fixed and then put all that back up there. And also weed out some of the Ford truck parts we have still on the shelf that for trucks we don't have anymore, and vehicles we don't have anymore. Like we have brake shoes for, ignition parts for, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'll quit taping and we'll get to it. Well, the original plan was just to fix the shelf, but kind of got carried away, so. Ended up actually cleaning out this whole little spot right here, which had a lot of metal in it. Taking everything off the benches and stuff, and the full shelf obviously, and out in this corner as well too. So got a little more room for activities now with all the brazing rod out of the hole and all this random stuff that was just laying around. So sometimes organizing is just a hell of a good time, not gonna lie. Well, I spent a little time getting everything kind of wrapped up. I didn't tape too much, but we actually got the main bench here fully recovered, cleaned off, block out of the way, crank, the rods, all that kind of stuff. As you guys can see, we got this shelf fully reassembled again, which is really nice, and it's actually not full of dust anymore and isn't falling off the wall. Just really freaking handy. So it just mostly has all of our carburetor kits, a lot of our ignition parts, everything like that. Also got brake parts for the trailers, obviously lots of tape because we do mask a lot of stuff, everything like that. So that's actually got a lot of our daily drive parts over there, and also stuff for the Jeeps. Well, actually, never mind. That's more just ignition parts and that kind of thing. We actually got this shelf over here now, which is mostly for the trucks and the Jeeps. So that's all separated. So we got the block right here, the 401 block crank. You know, the heads, obviously, pistons, rods, that kind of stuff. all his pistons and rods for the other motor behind it. And got Dave's motor ready to go here anyway, so we can take it to the shop, get that kind of checked out before we kind of start the full build on that. The block needs a little work yet because it's got some deep gouges from being pushed around from truck to truck to truck its whole life. You know how most parts are there, engine parts. But as you guys can see, we got all the Eagles in here again today. I'll get to this in the next video. Inner fender decided to cave in on me on this car, so I gotta weld that up. But that'll be the next video, so I'm not gonna talk about that right now and waste you guys' time. But anyway, we got the back room's pretty dang organized now. We got the actual engine building room, as you can see. Everything's on the shelves, not much on the floor anymore. We got some of this stuff, a little more organization to do yet. We got that cart all nice and organized, which looks like crap too. Everything's clean, everything's vacuumed, which is so dang nice. And then our other room over here too has got a couple things yet, but we kind of got the main organization. Sandblast is gonna sit there. I got the oil drain over there, my welder, and the bender you guys saw earlier in the videos. And then we also got all this in here too. Let's put a lot more brake stuff on the shelf too. We had on the far shelf, I'll show you guys in a second. So we got all of our kits, our hoses, or like hardware basically, our hoses, wheel cylinders, all the shoes, spare alternators, all of our shocks, motor mounts, water pumps, basically anything we possibly need for a daily driver. So got all that put away, as well as some other stuff off the shelf, some more general parts, dowel springs, that kind of thing. So very nice and organized now, which is fantastic. Now that we're done more with the organizing, we can get back to work. Oh, we also got a spot for belts to hang up over here too. When we're gonna buy missing belts, so one of every belt basically the general AMC has for daily drivers too. So anyway, it's kind of a wrap for this video. It's New Year's Eve right now, so I'm gonna have a little fun enjoying myself with some friends for the rest of the night. And happy New Year, everybody. Well, thank you guys for watching the channel. If you enjoyed what you saw, hit that like button, smash the subscribe button there too. Catch you all later.